A maid merely glanced at the paralyzed young General Wei, instantly enraging him. The general lunged forward and bit her hard until blood ran down, yet she clenched her teeth and stayed completely silent. When asked if it hurt, she only said, "It doesn't." Impressed by her extraordinary pain tolerance, the general kept her as his personal maid. 3 years later, with the maid's care, the general's legs fully recovered. One day, as the maid passed through the courtyard, she accidentally overheard the general talking to the second young master of the Yi family. The second young master urged the general to give the maid a proper status for her 3 years of devoted care, but the general bluntly replied, "She's good at serving. Take her if you like." Heartbroken, the maid decided to leave the Wei mansion. When meeting Lady Wei, the maid only asked for her manumission certificate and 100 taels of silver, not seeking any status. Surprised, Lady Wei gave her several bolts of fine cloth as an extra reward. Back home, her mother scolded her for being foolish, believing the maid must have had intimate contact with the general after 3 years of being his personal maid, and that it would now be hard for her to marry. Her mother even wanted her to be the general's concubine to curry favor with the powerful. The maid retorted that she would have no good life once the young mistress married in. Unable to persuade her, the mother stormed off in anger. Later, she always found fault with the maid but still clung to the fantasy that the general might marry her daughter someday. Soon after, the maid took 2 bolts of cloth to the market to sell, only to run into the general, the second young master of Yi, and the general's fiancée. The second young master deliberately tried to match her with the general, offering double the price for the cloth on condition she go on an outing with them. He dragged her onto his horse, took her back to the Wei mansion, and wanted her to be his personal maid. The maid knelt and begged for mercy, saying she only wanted to get married. However, the second young master stirred up trouble, claiming the general had changed his mind now that his legs were better. This enraged the general, who stabbed the second young master with his sword. He then turned his anger on the maid, accusing her of conspiring to play hard to get and even threatening to kill her. The maid swore she had no such intention. Persuaded by his fiancée, the general finally let her go. She fled to a dilapidated temple and burst into tears. In the temple, a guard mistook her for a ghost. When she failed to get help, Lord Qingyuan, the governor of Jingzhou Prefecture, invited her into his carriage. Though she saw a corpse inside, she felt relieved upon recognizing Lord Qingyuan. Back home, the maid learned her mother had given away the remaining cloth. They had a fierce quarrel. She went to her father's grave to cry, only to meet the general, who was investigating a corpse theft case. He forced her back to the Wei mansion, warning her not to play hard to get and saying, "Nothing I want escapes me, including you." The maid only said she left the Wei mansion to make a living and no longer wanted to know his thoughts. Hit 2,000 likes and the next episode drops. Also, feel free to leave in the comments which short dramas you want to see next. Let us know what you think.